Samyutta Nikaya, the Connected Discourses. Mahavagga Samyutta, the great section of the Connected Discourses. Satipatthana Samyutta, Connected Discourses on the four bases of mindfulness. Nalanda Vagga, the Nalanda section. Sutta number 47.15, Ba hiya Sutta, Discourse to the Venerable Ba hiya. Once, while the Blessed One was staying in Savatthi, the Venerable Ba hiya came and approached the Blessed One, and after paying homage to him, sat down to one side and asked, Bhante, please let the Blessed One teach me the Dhamma in brief, so that, having heard the Dhamma from the Blessed One himself, I can go and live on my own, secluded, withdrawn, and diligent, as I dedicate myself to my practice ardently, with firm resolve. Then, Ba hiya, you must strive to purify the point of activation, which is the very foundational phase of wholesome states. And what is the point of activation, which is the very foundational phase of wholesome states? It is living with virtue that is pure, and with the view that is forthright. And once, Ba hiya, you begin cultivating virtue that is pure, and with the view that is forthright, then, while relying on this very foundation of virtue and being fastened by it, you should develop the mind through the four bases of mindfulness, satipatthana. And what are these four? Here, Ba hiya, you must dedicate yourself to meditating while being fully attentive and aware of the body, carefully staying with the body, by observing whatever you detect to be the most pronounced bodily sensation that is occurring at the time. Do this as you train yourself ardently, but without having any thoughts or attitudes of either longing or resentment towards the world. Also, Ba hiya, you must dedicate yourself to meditating while being fully attentive and aware of feelings, carefully staying with whatever feeling you detect to be the most pronounced feeling occurring at the time, mindful of it in all its transitions and ever-changing states. Do this as you train yourself ardently, but without having any thoughts or attitudes of either longing or resentment towards the world. Also, Ba hiya, you must dedicate yourself to meditating while being fully attentive and aware of whatever state that is occurring in the heart, the citta, carefully staying with whatever you detect to be the most pronounced state taking place at the time within the citta, remaining mindful of the various states it undergoes in all their transitions and fluctuations. Do this as you train yourself ardently, but without having any thoughts or attitudes of either longing or resentment towards the world. And, Ba hiya, you must dedicate yourself to meditating while being fully attentive and aware of whatever mental phenomena or mind objects or ideas, dhammas, along with the experiences that are occurring at the time, carefully staying with whatever you detect to be the most pronounced mental phenomenon or idea that you are experiencing, mindful of them in all their transitions and ever-changing states. Do this as you train yourself enthusiastically, but without having any thoughts or attitudes of either longing or resentment towards the world. And when, Ba hiya, you practice like this, by developing the mind through the four bases of mindfulness, the satipatthana, while first relying on and being fastened by the very foundation of virtue, along with being supported by the view that is forthright, then, whether it is nighttime or daytime, you will only witness success in your practice, witnessing how your wholesome states of mind continue to mature, as you will see for yourself their daily growth and not their decline. Then, on having received this instruction from the Blessed One's own lips, the Venerable Ba became utterly delighted and rejoiced in hearing the Blessed One's words. As he rose from his seat, and after paying homage to the Blessed One and keeping him to his right, he left to engage in serious practice. Later, while living alone and secluded from the crowd, continuing in his training, withdrawn, diligent, dedicated to his resolutions to attain release, the Venerable Ba realized for himself in this very birth, and with direct knowledge, the highest goal of the holy life, for the sake of which good sons of families rightly go forth from the home life into homelessness. And now he personally knew and understood with absolute certainty. Destroyed is birth. The holy life is now fully lived. What had to be done is now done, and finally completed. There is no more rebirth into any state of becoming. Thus, the Venerable Ba finally became one of the Arahants. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.